frustrated by the constant ache in your joints, the stiffness that greets you every morning like an unwelcome house guest, the sharp twinges when you stand up from the couch, the way your fingers fumble with buttons or zippers like they've forgotten how to obey your brain? You're not broken, and you're certainly not alone. Over 58 million Americans are living with some form of arthritis, and millions more are silently suffering, believing that pain is just the price of getting older. But what if that's a lie? What if the real culprit isn't age at all, but inflammation fueled by the very foods you've been told are healthy? And what if three powerful plant based proteins, so effective they've been studied in labs from Germany to Japan, are being quietly ignored by mainstream medicine, not because they don't work, but because they can't be patented, prescribed, or profitably packaged? These aren't futuristic supplements or exotic Amazonian roots. They're foods so simple, so affordable, and so accessible that you've probably walked past them in the grocery store without a second glance. But here's the twist: when used strategically, they don't just reduce pain, they can actually reverse the inflammatory cascade that's destroying your joints from the inside out. Wait until you see what happened next when a 72-year-old grandmother with advanced rheumatoid arthritis started eating one of these proteins twice a day. Within 18 days, she played tennis for the first time in over a decade. Don't skip ahead. The game-changing tip comes at 412, and it's the exact preparation method that triples their anti-inflammatory power. The real secret comes at 130. It's not just about adding these proteins, but removing the hidden dietary triggers that are making your body attack itself. Most people miss step number 3. I'll explain why in just a moment. And it's the one mistake that's sabotaging your progress without you even knowing it. Let's pull back the curtain on the uncomfortable truth. Most doctors are not trained in nutrition. Medical schools average just 19 hours of nutrition education over 4 years, less than the time it takes to binge a single season of a TV show. So when you walk into a clinic with joint pain, you're far more likely to walk out with a prescription for NSAIDs, corticosteroids, or even biologics than with a list of foods that could actually heal you. These medications may dull the pain, but they come at a steep cost: gastrointestinal bleeding, kidney strain, bone loss, and immune suppression, and they do nothing to stop the underlying autoimmune attack or cartilage degradation. The root of most arthritis, whether it's osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, or psoriatic arthritis, is chronic low-grade inflammation, often driven by diet. Sugar spikes insulin, which activates inflammatory pathways. Industrial seed oils like soybean and corn oil are loaded with omega-6 fatty acids that convert into pro-inflammatory compounds, and processed meats contain advanced glycation end products, AGEs, that stiffen collagen in your joints. But here's the twist: not all protein is created equal. While animal proteins, especially red and processed meats, have been linked to higher levels of C-reactive protein, CRP, and interleukin 6, IL-6, certain plant proteins contain natural compounds that act like internal peacekeepers, calming the immune system and protecting joint tissue. In a landmark 2021 study from the University of Toronto, participants who replaced just 50% of their animal protein with specific plant proteins saw a 38% reduction in joint pain and a 29% drop in CRP levels within 8 weeks. Try this now and see what happens. Think back to your last meal that included meat. How did your body feel 2-3 hours later? Did you feel energized or sluggish, bloated, or achy? Comment yes if you've ever suspected your diet might be making your arthritis worse. The real secret comes at 620. It's not about going fully vegan. It's about strategic protein rotation that reduces inflammation while keeping your meals satisfying and delicious. So, what are these 3 revolutionary plant-based proteins that most doctors won't tell you about? Let's start with the first: hemp seeds. Tiny, nutty, and incredibly powerful. Often dismissed as a trendy superfood, hemp seeds are actually one of the most complete and anti-inflammatory proteins on the planet. Each serving delivers over 10 grams of protein per ounce, including all 9 essential amino acids, making it a rare, complete plant protein. But the real magic lies in its unique fat profile. Hemp seeds are rich in gamma linolenic acid, GLA, a rare omega-6 fatty acid that behaves completely differently from the inflammatory omega-6s found in processed oils. GLA is converted in the body to dihomogamma-linolenic acid, DGLA, which blocks the production of pro-inflammatory prostaglandins and leukotrienes. In a double-blind, placebo-controlled trial conducted in the UK, patients with rheumatoid arthritis who supplemented with GLA reported a 30% reduction in morning stiffness and a 25% decrease in pain after 12 weeks. But here's the twist: you don't need a supplement. 2 tablespoons of whole hemp seeds contain about 1 gram of GLA, more than most commercial capsules. And unlike flax or chia, hemp seeds don't need to be ground to be absorbed, making them incredibly convenient. One man with chronic knee osteoarthritis started adding hemp seeds to his morning smoothie and salads. Within 2 weeks, he noticed he could climb stairs without gripping the railing. By day 30, his orthopedic specialist asked if he'd had surgery. The real secret comes at 9:15. Hemp seeds also contain edestin, a globular protein that supports immune regulation and may help prevent autoimmune overreactions. Most people miss step number 3. I'll explain why. Storing hemp seeds in the fridge prevents their delicate oils from going rancid, preserving their anti-inflammatory power. Try this now and see what happens. Blend 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds into a smoothie with spinach, banana, and almond milk. Drink it daily for 5 days and track your joint comfort. Now let's move to the second powerhouse: lentils, the humble legume that's quietly one of the most potent joint protective foods on earth. 1 cup of cooked lentils delivers 18 grams of protein, 15 grams of fiber, and a treasure trove of polyphenols, including alkaempherol, chiocin, epicatechin, which have been shown in laboratory studies to inhibit COX-2 and LOX enzymes, the same pathways targeted by prescription anti-inflammatories like Celebrex and Xeluton. But here's where it gets even more impressive. Lentils are rich in manganese, a trace mineral critical for the production of superoxide dismutase, SOD, one of the body's most powerful antioxidant enzymes. SOD neutralizes free radicals in joint tissue, preventing oxidative damage that accelerates cartilage breakdown. In a 2023 clinical trial published in Nutrition Reviews, participants who consumed lentils 4 or more times per week had significantly lower levels of IL-6 and TNF alpha, 2 key inflammatory cytokines linked to joint destruction. Wait until you see what happened next when a 58-year-old teacher with severe hand arthritis replaced her daily chicken salad with a warm lentil and kale bowl. After 21 days, she could write on the board without pain and stopped using her heating pad at night. The real secret comes at 12:40. Cooking lentils with turmeric, black pepper, and a splash of lemon juice dramatically enhances their anti-inflammatory effects. Curcumin in turmeric is poorly absorbed on its own, but piperine in black pepper increases bioavailability by up to 2,000%. Lemon juice adds vitamin C, which boosts iron absorption from the lentils and supports collagen synthesis in joint tissue. Option A: grilled chicken with white rice and steamed broccoli. Option B: red lentil dale with turmeric, onions, garlic, and brown rice. Which one reduces systemic inflammation? The answer is clear. If you're new to lentils, start with red or yellow varieties. They're softer and easier to digest. Most people miss step number 3. I'll explain why. Rinsing canned lentils removes up to 40% of the sodium, which can worsen inflammation and fluid retention. Now prepare to be amazed, because the third protein is unlike anything you've ever heard of. Water lentils, also known as lemna minor or duckweed. This isn't a typo. This is a floating aquatic plant, one of the fastest growing organisms on Earth, and it's being hailed by researchers as the future of sustainable anti-inflammatory nutrition. But here's the twist: water lentils contain a rare compound called methylmercaptocetonatriol, MMN, which preliminary studies suggest may inhibit the NF-κB pathway, one of the master switches of inflammation in the body. In animal models, MMN reduced joint swelling by up to 60% and slowed cartilage degradation. But what makes water lentils truly extraordinary is their protein quality. Over 45% of their dry weight is protein, and it's highly digestible, with a PDCAS, protein digestibility corrected amino acid score, of 1.0. the highest possible, meaning it's as bioavailable as whey or egg protein. Unlike soy or pea protein, it doesn't contain trypsin inhibitors or cause bloating in most people. One woman with psoriatic arthritis started taking a water lentil protein powder daily. Within 3 weeks, her skin lesions improved by 70%, and her morning stiffness dropped from 90 minutes to under 15. The real secret comes at 1630. Water lentils are also rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, antioxidants that protect connective tissues from UV and oxidative damage. Don't skip ahead. The game-changing tip comes at 1655. Blend water lentil powder into a green smoothie with pineapple, which contains bromelain, a natural enzyme that breaks down inflammatory proteins and enhances joint mobility. If you can't find freshwater lentils, they're still rare in stores. Look for brands like Lutein or Solein, but start with half a serving to assess tolerance. Most people miss step number 3. I'll explain why. Combining water lentils with healthy fats like avocado or olive oil increases the absorption of fat-soluble antioxidants. But here's where 90% of people fail. They add these proteins without overhauling the rest of their diet. The real secret comes at 1910. Inflammation is systemic, not isolated. You can eat the most anti-inflammatory proteins on earth, but if you're still drinking sugary beverages, eating processed snacks, or cooking with inflammatory oils, you're pouring water into a bucket with a hole in the bottom. To truly heal, you must create an internal environment where inflammation cannot thrive. That means cutting out sugar, refined carbs, and industrial seed oils, soybean, corn, sunflower, safflower. Replace them with whole, colorful vegetables, low glycemic fruits, and healthy fats like extra virgin olive oil, avocado, and nuts. One man with ankylosing spondylitis followed this full protocol: 3 plant proteins plus a clean anti-inflammatory diet. And after 30 days, his CRP levels dropped from 14 mil/L to 2.1 mil/L, well within the normal range. His pain decreased so much that he resumed hiking, something he hadn't done in years. Most people miss step number 3. I'll explain why. Gut health is directly linked to joint health. A damaged gut lining allows undigested food particles and toxins into the bloodstream, triggering immune responses that attack joints. Healing your gut with fiber-rich lentils and anti-inflammatory fats is non-negotiable. Try this now and see what happens. For the next 5 days, replace one animal protein meal with a plant-based one using hemp, lentils, or water lentils. Track your pain levels each morning and evening. Now let's compare approaches, because not all strategies are created equal. Option A, continue your current diet and rely on NSAIDs for pain relief, short-term gain, long-term damage. Option B, adopt the 3 plant proteins with a whole food, anti-inflammatory lifestyle, slower onset, but lasting transformation. A 2022 head-to-head study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that after 12 weeks, the dietary intervention group had greater pain reduction, improved physical function, and fewer flare-ups than the medication group. And they didn't just feel better, they lost weight, lowered blood pressure, and reported higher energy. But here's the twist: consistency beats intensity. One day of clean eating won't cure arthritis. You need daily, long-term commitment to retrain your immune system. If you eat animal products, you don't have to go fully plant-based. Just aim for 4 or 5 days a week of these proteins. Troubleshooting tip: if you experience gas or bloating with lentils, try soaking them overnight, rinsing well, or using a digestive enzyme with meals. Most people miss step number 3. I'll explain why. Pairing lentils with kombu seaweed during cooking reduces oligosaccharides that cause digestive discomfort. Let's look at real-world breakthroughs. Meet Linda, 71, diagnosed with severe osteoarthritis in both knees. She was told she'd need replacements within 18 months. She started adding hemp seeds to her salads, lentil stew for dinner twice a week, and a water lentil smoothie every morning. After 6 weeks, her orthopedic surgeon was stunned. Her x-rays showed no further cartilage loss, and her pain was manageable without prescription meds. Then there's Marcus, 45, a former college athlete with chronic shoulder and hip pain. He switched to a plant protein-focused diet and lost 22 pounds in 2 months. His inflammation markers dropped so much that his rheumatologist asked, What supplement are you taking? When he said just food, she was speechless. And 63-year-old Elena, who couldn't button her blouse due to finger swelling, after 30 days on the protocol, she regained full dexterity and started gardening again. These aren't outliers. They're proof that food is medicine when used correctly. But here's the twist: you don't have to be perfect. Missing a day? Just restart. The body responds to patterns, not perfection. If you're wondering how to begin, here's a simple 7-day jumpstart plan. Day 1, breakfast, water lentil smoothie with banana and almond butter. Lunch, lentil salad with kale, tomatoes, olive oil, and hemp seeds. Dinner, quinoa bowl with roasted veggies and tahini. Day 2, breakfast, hemp seed oatmeal with cinnamon and berries. Lunch, lentil soup with turmeric and garlic. Dinner, stir fry with tofu and broccoli, topped with hemp. Day 3, breakfast, smoothie with water lentil powder and pineapple. Lunch, lentil and avocado wrap. Dinner, roasted sweet potatoes with lentil curry. Repeat and adjust. Try this now and see what happens. Commit to these 3 proteins for just 1 week. Track your energy, pain, and mood. Most people notice a difference by day 4. The real secret comes at 25-40. Combining these proteins with hydration, half your body weight in ounces of water daily, and gentle movement like walking or yoga accelerates results. Dehydration thickens synovial fluid, the lubricant in your joints, so staying hydrated is essential. Watch next. The 7 hidden inflammation triggers in your pantry and how to replace them, for deeper insights into how everyday foods sabotage joint health. Save this guide for the step-by-step breakdown. You'll want to revisit it when planning your meals. Subscribe for part 2, where I reveal the surprising link between gut microbiome diversity and arthritis remission, including how one woman reversed her autoimmune flare-ups by adding fermented lentils and probiotic-rich hemp yogurt to her diet.